Tyler ready, I'm sure. All right. Well, good morning, and what a great group today. We have a lot to cover. I think anytime we ask the police chief here, it looks like we have extra cameras in the room. I don't know if that's to watch you, but we truly appreciate everyone here. We have a lot of exciting news today. First on our agenda is talking about some pretty cool stuff with Way to Work, the Workforce Alliance, who's been leading the community collaborative effort on youth employment. We have a new term, we call it Helping Youth Prepare for Employment, or HYPE as we like to say. The core operating partners of HYPE include the Greater Wichita YMCA, USD 259, and the City of Wichita Housing and Community Services, and along with Wichita State University. These organizations and other stakeholders in the region are leveraging resources, aligning services, and making a significant community impact on youth employment. Back in 2016, I issued a challenge to these groups that we really need to make a difference in providing summer youth jobs. And the challenge I placed then was we need to have 1,000 youth employed in summer internships. At the time of that challenge, we only had about 100 youth in summer internships, and so pretty steep hill to climb. So I'm going to tell you, over these past 3 years, every year we've improved. From May and August of 2019 through the HYPE program, pleased to announce that this year we placed 1,210 youth into valuable work experience opportunities through 221 employers. I want to congratulate and thank the HYPE partners for this impressive accomplishment. Having more young people active in the workforce supports businesses and really does help youth understand the value of work and a job. Plus, connecting career awareness to educational goals. We have a number of young people here that were part of HYPE. I'm not sure if everyone's made it in the room, but I know we have Joaquin Chavera from Camp HYPE North High. Joaquin, wave to the group. And I don't know if Milton Dodd from HYPE, Student Ambassador at WSU, may jump up and wave. You're hiding. I'd like to especially recognize one young person who participated in the Way to Work program. Nautica, would you come up and join me? Nautica won one of 3 awards from a national contest. She completed all of the financial literacy modules, and for her work was entered in to win a national dollar-wise campaign that awards young people who become financially literate. I'm happy to present her with her prize, a brand new iPod. Nautica, I didn't download it with Elton John yet, but if you need help, I can program it for you. And I'm going to let you have the podium.
I'm Nautica Agnew. I'm 14 years old, and I go to Southeast High School. I am so happy to win this award and glad to have participated in the Way to Work program. It gave me experience to get a job and taught me about interviewing, how to be a good employee, and set me up for my future career. I believe that I have a bright future ahead of me and know that I'll use the things I learned to set me up on a successful path.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. Outstanding. Outstanding. You want to call out your mom in the back of the room and say hi to Mom? Mom, you've got to be very proud of her, and this is just a fine, outstanding example of the impact that this program makes, and so we're very pleased that she's just one of the 1,210 young people who have completed this program. So we're proud of her and every other young person who's dedicated themselves to take on this hard work. The goal we reached could not have been accomplished without the help and support of the business community, and I'd like to recognize a few of them that are here today. Emily Knobloch with K-12 Engagement. Emily. Ashton Rottinghouse with Community Relations. Thank you very much. Michelle Gifford, Director of Workforce and Employee Development. There are a number of great community partners that have supported HYPE. none more so than my wonderful friend, Sean Lancelot. We should call him Sir Lancelot because he's been our knight in shining armor forever. And so I want to bring up Sean, who's the market president for Bank of America, to say a few words. Sean, why don't you join me? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I happened to be in one of those meetings in 2016 when the mayor challenged this community to do better around youth employment. I immediately walked up to him and I said, we can get behind this. So Bank of America workforce development is paramount for us, not only in the Wichita community, but nationally. And youth employment, we all know we're building our next generation of leaders. And so over the past 3 years, Bank of America has contributed over $140,000 to this program. And I'm just going to tell you right here in front of the press that we're going to continue to be a strong partner for Workforce Alliance, the City of Wichita, and other community partners. I also want to thank the Workforce Alliance for their help this summer. We had 2 student leaders. It's part of a larger national program that Bank of America has. But we had 2 student leaders, 2 young ladies who are juniors in 2 different high schools here in Wichita. Bank of America provided 2 paid internships for them, and they had a great time working at the Workforce Alliance. I know they worked hard, and that kind of culminated for a trip for them to Washington, D.C. We brought all of our student leaders together, and they learned a lot about leadership development, community service, and also met with our congressional leaders on Capitol Hill, so it was a great experience. So I do want to thank the Workforce Alliance for providing that opportunity for them. So again, Mr. Mayor, thank you, and thank you for the partnership, and we look forward to continued support.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
That is outstanding, Sean, and thank you very much. We truly appreciate all that you've done, and you've been there from day one. Keith Loing couldn't be here. Keith has certainly been instrumental, but we're very fortunate to have Kathy Jewett. Kathy is on the National Board of Workforce Alliance, National Board of Directors, and Kathy is with XLT Evans, and so I want to bring Kathy up here to talk about the HYPE program also.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Workforce Alliance has operated a summer youth employment project since 2009 when we started. The board wants to be deliberate in creating a first job or work experience opportunity for youth, as employment rates for youth between the ages of 16 and 19 have been declining for the past 30 years. HYPE is a strategy to help raise awareness about career opportunities for young people and to help support their academic goals by directly involving the business community and employers. The board wants to thank the employers that have been involved, and we encourage more employers to be engaged as we continue this work through HYPE in 2020. One of the important parts of HYPE is to connect to high school students, and this past year, we reached out to over 3,200 students in 25 high schools in 15 regional districts. XLT Evans is proud to be part of HYPE and recognize the noticeable impact it's having on increasing awareness about the great careers available to young people in South Central Kansas. On behalf of the Workforce Alliance Board, I want to thank the funders that help support HYPE: Bank of America, Emprise Bank, the City of Wichita, and Sedgwick County. And Mayor Longwell, thank you for your leadership and your support and your partnership, and we hope to continue to have great results.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, Mayor.
Kathy, thank you. I know everyone will stick around, whether it's Milton or Joaquin or Ashton. All of you are available to jump in the hot seat if there's important questions about this program. I just want to make sure that people understand not to underestimate what's being done here. This is huge. This is going to go a long way to filling that talent pipeline for the jobs in this community. It's going to make a huge difference in keeping our young, talented people that have never fully understood and maybe not fully appreciated what opportunities are right here in their own backyard. And this program's changing that. So thank you all very much. It's absolutely wonderful how you have all stepped up, and we truly appreciate it. Next item I want to talk about is continuing the Candid Conversations. The Wichita Public Library is continuing its Candid Conversations book club this month at Maya Angelou Northeast Branch Library. The Candid Conversation is a series of programs exploring issues of race and ethnicity in our community. Next Friday, September the 20th, from 7 to 8:30 p.m., you can join Carla Eccles from KMUW for a discussion of The Learning Tree by Gordon Parks, a book about racial prejudice in a small town in the 1920s. Call 316-688-9580 to register for this free program. Again, call 316-688-9580 to register for this free program. And now a very special announcement that we're going to make here this morning, and it involves gun safety. It's certainly a pleasant surprise, one that we've been working on. During my time as mayor, supporting public safety has been a top priority. Today I'm joined by the Chief of Police, representatives from Senator Moran's office, and they're all here to discuss a new grant opportunity that we have received, a $750,000 grant opportunity that's going to help us directly address gun violence in our community. And so at this time, I want to call up our Police Chief, Gordon Ramsey. Chief.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Good morning. As the Mayor said, I'm Gordon Ramsey. I'm the Police Chief. Very excited to announce this big grant news. It's going to help us focus on reducing crime in our community, specifically around gun violence. What this will do is it will help us put together and build our Gun Crime Intelligence Center. This is a integration initiative grant by the Bureau of Justice Administration, and it's in partnership with the ATF. The Gun Crime Intelligence Centers have been in formation the last couple of years, and in the cities that they have started have had a significant decrease in gun violence. I do want to thank the mayor for his support for us in receiving this grant, as well as our city councilors who are very supportive of the police department. Also want to thank the U.S. Attorney of Kansas, Steve McAllister, who's here with us today. Thank him for his partnership as we try to reduce violence in our community. As well as I want to thank specifically Senator Jerry Moran for his commitment and continued support in helping Wichita lower our crime rate. I believe that he was instrumental in helping us obtain this grant. So the issue around shootings in our city, shootings have been increasing since 2014. Our aggravated assaults have almost doubled since 2012. I am proud to say, while we talk a lot about crime and violent crime, the reality is this year we're having a significant downward trend. In the chart to my right, you will notice that a lot of our crime is down double digits. Our homicides are down about 30% from where they were last year. Our commercial robberies are down about 50% over 2017. So we're very pleased at the work that our community members have helped us with, as well as the hard work of our police officers in addressing violence in our community. So to be successful, we need to work with our federal partners, our other law enforcement agencies, in a collaborative effort to have a significant impact. This grant, along with the other grants that we've announced earlier this year, the Public Safety Partnership, Project Safe Neighborhoods, that are all federal initiatives to help us reduce our numbers, have been bringing us closer together with our partners in this effort. This grant continues to build on those alliances and collaboration by specifically the $750,000 grant, and it's going to address gun crime violence in a number of ways. There's so many ways it's addressed, I got to read them. I can't remember them all, but it's going to fund a certified firearms examiner for the police department. It's creating a local firearms forensic lab, allowing investigators to get ballistic information in a matter of days or even hours, whereas right now oftentimes it's weeks and months. So we'll be much more quick to identify the guns that are being used in crime. Also, create an integrated records management system allowing participating law enforcement agencies to share data instantly. Right now, there's delays and our systems aren't speaking to one another. Providing equipment to test ballistic evidence, providing additional financial resources and personnel to follow up on intelligence and cases. Our partners in this effort is Wichita State University. They've been tremendous partners. This will operate out of the Law Enforcement Training Center, and they were instrumental also in helping us obtain this grant, and they will be doing our research associated with this to determine what kind of impact we're actually having on crime in Wichita. We'll continue to focus on driving these numbers down. Again, while we talk about crime and violent crime, in reality, the numbers are significantly better this year than last year. And remember, it's not all just police. We were just talking about the importance of youth employment opportunities. Those are critical for us in reducing crime in our communities, giving youth opportunities to have venues such as employment and activities. That is part of our crime prevention and reduction effort. So this grant, we're very excited to roll it out. We are starting work on it right now, and I think in the next few months you will see and hear about this Gun Crime Intelligence Center stepping up and having an impact in our community. Mayor?
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, that is really good news, and I want to thank the police chief for his efforts in all of that. Obviously, it didn't come without the help and support of our friends in Washington, D.C., and so now I want to welcome up Mike Zammerslaw from Senator Moran's office. So, Mike, obviously, the Senator Moran was incredibly important to bring this to fruition, and I'll just let you share for the senator.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, and as the mayor indicated, my name is Michael Zammerslaw, Deputy State Director for United States Senator Jerry Moran. First, on behalf of the senator, I would like to congratulate the Wichita Police Department, Chief Ramsey, certainly the mayor, and the support for this wonderful program, and also thank other distinguished officials and guests for being here today. The senator also thanks, and certainly very importantly, the U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney Stephen McAllister, for their support of Wichita and their efforts to strengthen partnerships and increase community engagement to reduce crime and enhance public safety here in our wonderful community. The senator was thrilled to learn that the Wichita PD was selected for this competitive and innovative grant program. The Local Law Enforcement Crime Gun Intelligence Center Integration Initiative, CGIC, exemplifies the importance of working together across government to address issues of public safety that are critical to Wichita and certainly all of our communities across the country. The additional resources provided in this program will allow the Wichita PD to strengthen vital partnerships with neighboring law enforcement agencies, allow for better coordination and collaboration to proactively prevent violent crime, and to apprehend those who are responsible for fueling violence here locally in our community. Most importantly, this program will enhance the Wichita Police Department's ongoing efforts to modernize the way they investigate and solve gun crimes. As chairman of the Appropriations Subcommittee that funds the U.S. Department of Justice, it is Senator Moran's top priority to make sure that local law enforcement agencies have the resources they need to enhance public safety and strengthen partnerships that are vital to the health and well-being of our communities. Senator Moran will continue to remain highly engaged in the Wichita Police Department as it implements this important program, and he looks forward to working with the city and with the Wichita PD on this and other initiatives going forward. Mayor, thank you for the chance to be with you.
Thank you, Mike. I want to tell people that Senator Moran's always been a big help in addressing issues in our community. I sometimes might get a little confused. I don't know who helps us more, Senator Moran or Mike Zammerslaw. But the senator's lucky to have you, Mike. We are very fortunate. And certainly it is all about partnerships, and it takes us all working together, pulling the rope in the same direction to reduce violence in our community. So it's now my pleasure to invite up U.S. Attorney Stephen McAllister from the Department of Justice, who would like to share also a little bit about this award. So, sir, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
So I remember, I think it was late July, we announced the PSP, the Public Safety Partnership Program, and I remember being asked a question, or a question was asked, which I tried to answer. What is this? What happens? How does it work? Well, an important step occurred this week when we had what they called the National Symposium, which brought lots of folks together in Memphis, and that's where the awarding of this grant was announced. But I also want you to know what people often do not see behind the scenes, the way the various partners work together. So present from Kansas, from Wichita, at that meeting were the chief and some of his officers, representative of the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Department, DA Mark Bennett was there, representatives of the FBI, the ATF, the DEA, the U.S. Marshals Service, myself, and other members of my office. And it's that kind of collaboration that makes law enforcement successful. And that's a lot of what PSP is about. Working together collaboratively, trying to be one large team, not lots of sub-teams who are competing or not necessarily collaborating. This grant, I couldn't be more pleased for the city of Wichita and more proud for the chief and his efforts. We're extremely pleased that the Wichita Police Department has gotten this grant with the establishment of the NIBIN equipment, which will help them track shell casings and identify guns used in various shootings. This grant adds to the equipment the ability to really analyze and analyze quickly what they have, connect it to various crimes, which will then turn into leads, which then turn into investigations, which then turns into charges, prosecutions, and convictions. And that's ultimately what we're after, is to get the dangerous criminals off the streets. And whether those are state prosecutions or federal prosecutions, the end is success for Wichita. And we are very happy to be a partner in that process. We will have the capacity, we'll make sure we have the capacity to take as many cases as the chief and his department need the U.S. Attorney's Office to take, as are appropriate for us to prosecute. But I'm sure DA Bennett will also be handling cases that will arise from this new technology and this investigative tool. Gun crime intelligence centers are something that have developed around the country, and they've proven to be very, very successful. And I have no doubt that Wichita very soon will be at the forefront of those centers. I think it's poised for tremendous success. And so what I'd like to say is the U.S. Attorney's Office is excited about this grant and fully supports the chief and the department in their efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. It really is all about partnerships and making a difference, and this is going to do all of that and make our community a safer community, and can't thank you enough. I do want to bring quickly a couple of more people up here. Brenna, if you and your friend can come up here, I'm going to put you both on the spot. So I mentioned some of the impact that the HYPE program is having. Here's two people that understand that impact directly. They are instrumental as a supplier to the aviation industry and so much more, and they recognize the need to fill the pipeline with skilled labor. And so I would like for you both to mention a little bit about the HYPE program and what you're doing and how you see it fitting into our future.
Hi, I am Cheryl Childers from Cox Machine, and as the mayor said, we really believe in the HYPE program, and as was mentioned earlier, we understand that we need to get youth into jobs as when they're younger so that they understand what is really needed once they enter the workforce, but also the fact that South Central Kansas, we've seen some decline in some of the aviation industry and manufacturing. And so if we are able to encourage our youth to enter the HYPE program and enter the other programs that we have available in the area to educate not only the youth, but also their parents on the types of jobs that are available in South Central Kansas. We think that it will really help to bring people here, help to keep our people here, as well as just increasing the level of education and partnership that we see throughout the area.
How many interns did you have this past year?
This past year, we had about 15.
Outstanding.
Prior years, we've averaged right around that number. So it's a program that we've been participating in for a number of years, and we really believe in bringing those students in, showing them the types of jobs that are available, may it be in assemblies or may it be in office environments, but really educating them on what's available in the workforce.
That's outstanding. Thank you, Brenda. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I'm Brenda Davis, the CFO at Cox Machine, and I can just say we've been working for years and years to try and get this program put into place, and with the mayor's push, I'm super excited about how this program has developed and all of the youth that are being given the opportunity to learn the soft skills and things that we've been talking about for a long time that you need just to get into the market. So we really appreciate your support and your help.
You all made some major investments, a lot of big investments in this city. You've doubled in size over the last few years.
We have, and thanks again to the support of the City Council. We expanded our facility by 50,000 square feet a year and a half ago, and we've increased our employment in the Wichita area from roughly 175 to 275. And again, it's all of the support we're being given from the city and the programs, Workforce Alliance, and this particular program as well. So we really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's certainly going to make a difference. It's nice to have one of the key suppliers in this area that's so critically important to opportunities. And then one last thing, did we lose Nautica already? We lost her. I do have a certificate of completion that we need to get to Nautica. She took the iPad. I think she was scared I was going to download Elton John and Creedence Clearwater Revival, and she took that iPad and ran. I'll catch up with her. Before she knows it, she'll have some really good music on that iPod. So at this point, we'll open up for questions.
I have a question for you, Mayor, and Chief, if you two want to collaborate.
Sure.
The mic together.
Chief always wants to collaborate with me.
That's fine. But I guess it's a two-part question, and I'll start with the mayor since we've talked about shootings and the number of shootings that we have in Wichita and how the numbers have changed. First of all, from a public safety standpoint, how important is this, and for Wichita to get this grant, both or either of you?
So from a public safety perspective, that's been our number one priority, as our concern with how we continue to ensure that our community is safe, inviting, and growing. And you can't do that unless you are pouring your resources into public safety. So it's not just about adding bodies, because adding bodies without a strategic plan doesn't get you there. But with a combination of adding bodies, and we will soon have, after we get the next group trained and the group that we have authorized in the last budget, we'll have nearly 90 more commissioned officers on the street than we had 4 years ago. But you combine those trained officers, and it takes nearly 9 months, with a very strategic plan, and now with the partnerships with the Department of Justice, we're going to continue to drive down crime, and the chief has been doing a great job of that year to date. I think he shared some of those statistics with you. We're making a big, big difference, and we're going to continue to do that, and I'll let the chief add to that.
Well, the other thing to consider too, Craig, is the historical benchmark, right? So in the early 90s, we had close to 60 homicides. We're 1/4 of where we were back then as far as homicides and gun violence, right? We saw a big dip after that, saw a slight increase over the last few years, and this is about pushing those numbers back down. And I believe that this year shows we're heading in the right direction.
Can you speak to, Chief, can you speak to, or Mayor, either one, can you speak to a little bit more deeper dive on how this grant will be used? Will we use it for gunshot detection and some of those kinds of things, and explain how that might work?
Yeah, it will, we've started our gunshot detection system last year. It will help us tie up some loose ends with that, with some funding, as well as, the big stuff we're seeing is that relatively few amount of guns are used over and over again. Being able to tie those guns together to different crimes when we locate them is really a big part of this, as well as information sharing with our partners at the federal level. So more timely and accurate intelligence to help us solve crime, as well as the collaborative effort. This is funding technology to help us increase our capabilities and our effectiveness. So overarching technology improves our effectiveness with technology, and really working closer with our federal partners to ensure that our gun offenders are held accountable.
Wanted to know, where are other intelligence centers within Kansas? I guess, how do you guys do it now versus how you will be doing it through this grant?
This is the first gun crime intelligence center in Kansas. The one we study the most is Milwaukee. Ed Flynn, the retired chief from Milwaukee, is one of our advisors, consultants on this project through the federal grants. So, but we expect to see our numbers go down. There's really no one that is close that has it. Kansas City, Missouri may be in the process of standing one up as well.
Jeff, right now, I think maybe, is it Topeka? So what are you doing right now with ballistics?
It goes through the KBI.
In Topeka?
In Topeka, yep. So the casings are driven up there, driven back, because they're doing it for the whole state. The delays are a part of that.
And you said up and running a couple months?
We get the NIBIN machine, which is the machine that processes, utilizes the technology in the next couple weeks. So we anticipate it will be this fall up and running, and that intelligence will be in the hands of our investigators and officers.
Another question. What do you attribute to the increase that you saw a couple years ago on crime? Is it drug-related? Is it gang-related?
Well, a fair amount of our crime is, actually the majority of our crime always has a drug nexus. We've seen the prices of methamphetamine across the country come down significantly from years past. A lot of our crime is driven by meth. A lot of our problems are driven by meth. So the fact that really our country and the Midwest is saturated right now with methamphetamine. So when with issues around addiction, it's availability and cost. And those two issues drive a lot of the drug use in our communities. Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else have to? Sir Lancelot, do you have anything else to add? We really do appreciate you a lot. And Mike Zammerslaw, thank you. Tell the senator we appreciate him. And we'll cut out that portion in this tape where we praise you too much. We don't want you to get in trouble. And thank you for all of those that have shown up here today. Really, really important topics we covered today, and so we appreciate you being here. Thank you all.